on Easter, we collected photographs of people from the church and made a slideshow that we showed at the sunrise time so they could see each other rather than just see the team that's doing the online worship. Y'all picked that up because I shared it to one of the staffers at Communication, and they took it international. They did a sunrise selfie thing across the globe, but that started with our little idea. We did that, and we include in our broadcast every week content that people produce in their homes. So we're live in the sanctuary, but we cut to solos and scripture readings and testimonies and things that people record themselves and send it to me ahead of time.
One of the things we are doing both, especially started with the phone calls and emails, text, and video worship. We tape the video worship. Is always trying to post a question and trying to encourage people to answer that question, and then very important, if they answer the question, give feedback so they know they have been listened.
Second, third, and fourth generation, they are very digital. I don't have any problem with them. Zoom, Facebook Live, whatever we use as a platform, they are with us. The other ones, we are trying to make connection by WhatsApp or by Messenger. And one thing we are doing, at least I'm doing it right now, but some people wanted to join me, not with me, do the same thing. For the ones who are not in media, we visited the driveway, and from the driveway, we call them and say hello. If we visit a home, if they are not there, we take a picture, and later on, we send the picture in a messenger or by text and let them know we stopped by your house today. We couldn't see you, but next time we are going to call you ahead just to say hello from our car and let you know that we love you and we care about you.
So we started having to reflect on our Latino customs in the church, the abrazos, the besos, the closeness, the physical touching of all of that. We had a couple of Sundays of that, just backing away from that a little bit and then going to celebration cup, communion and stuff instead. For communion, instead of having a remote consecration of elements that people select on their own, we pre-consecrate all the elements and put them in paper bags and do a curbside pickup prior to the service, and that allows everyone to take communion together while they're viewing it on the broadcast with something that's already been consecrated. And
so we choose Zoom for virtual time of connection because we're aware that not everybody has access to internet, or not everybody has a smartphone or a computer or a tablet, right? So a lot of people call just by phone. And what we do is that we send them, like we mail them the worship script. So they could follow the worship script at home and listening to the phone. And then other folks do join by Zoom, or they can choose to join by Facebook Live too.
I've got one pending prayer request for somebody that was tested for COVID this week and doesn't know the results yet. And that's the only direct impact. I have a lot of folks who have someone that they know who's been impacted. So it's that close.
We haven't had any incidences in our churches per se of people that have been suffering from the virus. We've had no deaths. What we do have is lots of needs in terms of food and personal hygiene items and personal care items and medicine. Well, the church, the folks, the families are coming to the church for local help. So what we did is we started early on we just started a designated fund to try to help these families, and we helped about 46 families over the last 2 weeks.
It's interesting that we do help a lot in the community. There's always a meal Monday to Saturday. And even since the pandemic has started, we still got that running. A lot of people had volunteered, and we just set out a table, and it's pre-packed food for folks to go, because there are many folks who literally that's their meal that they have secured for the day.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see that the money to help with missions is still there. And people are very committed to that, and that's good. And it could be also that not everybody's able to help with the other expenses for the church, but people have a big heart for helping others.
Fortunately, right before this, maybe a year or two before this, we set up online giving. And through PayPal, we're going to transition over to Stripe soon. And we ordered a bunch of remittance envelopes from a local printing place and had those out to people.
Wow.
And so far, I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch. March was a nominal month in terms of budget. So far this month, it's been better than normal. But will it stay like that? It's kind of hard to say. We did not apply for the CARES program.
Okay.
My annual conference heavily pushed that on a lot of churches.
And why did you not? You just feel you're financially in a good enough position you didn't have to? We
didn't need to, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't need to. And we have reserves, and we weren't in a place that we felt it was correct to take that relief from other people that need it when we didn't need it.
Something I didn't realize, though, was that they also have an economic impact. And so we are down to half what we used to get. We did apply for the CARES Act.
And how did that work for you?
We were late, so very likely we'll do the second round.
Okay.
Or maybe we're not late, we're not just as fast as other churches.
Right, okay.
But thank you, John, for like you were sharing that you didn't apply for it because you didn't need it, because I'm sure there are other churches who are in the same position as ours who need it. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Surprised me a lot, the commitment of the people, because we were worried not having worship in church and not having the regular offerings, but they are making the offerings came in the mail. Some go to the church and they throw it from the door and let us know that the offering was in the church and we can collect it.
I'll go. Hopeful, trusting, and ready to go.
Yeah, if I can speak for my congregation and part of the community, I would say uncertainty is one of the words, but at the same time, and I agree, is hope. Hope is the thing that it brings us together at this moment as a community of faith.
We have a death in our church. It was an old lady that got called home. It was very sad because we didn't have the opportunity to do any memorial service, not even share with the family in person, just by telephone and video conference, and was very hard. We make a promise that after all this past, we are going to do a good memorial service to remember her and work with the healing of the family and the church.
We had quite a few training events scheduled where we were bringing in, a subject matter expert, or we're bringing in somebody to do like a 1 day or a 2 day workshop. We killed most of those, but we kept two that are very important to us. We're going to, well, we had already started a big push on small groups. And as a matter of fact, we have 13 pastors now that are being coached by Joel Comiskey, who is kind of an authority in small group development and small group strategy. And they're being coached by him. So we kept anything that had to do with small groups.
Administratively, this is the time for us to deal with all of the non-urgent important things, things that church anxieties and bureaucracy have been preventing, like the fact that we needed to improve our camera for live streaming, couldn't find the money for it. Now we absolutely need it, and suddenly the money appears. Updating our church database, going to a better church management suite that's cloud-based. They're doing things that administratively upgrade and take us into a better place of excellence that was blocked for whatever reason by having the machine running. You know, when you turn it off, you can work on it. And so having it turned off, having our truck turned off, we can take it to the shop.
The other one is our kids. They are homeschooling. Parents need to go back to work sometime, and those kids are going to need somebody to keep doing homeschooling and taking care of them.
Many of the pastors that I have spoken with, they intend to keep an online gathering either on a Friday or a Saturday night. We haven't figured out how we keep evangelizing online, how we keep reaching out to those that don't have the same hope that we have. Right. And so we intend to keep some kind of online presence with an evangelistic focus moving forward.
My normal worship attendance, plus the online viewership prior to COVID, probably typically about 180. It's 300 now. I don't want to dial that back.
Other thing I'm gonna do, I make fun of this, a joke with SPR, but I think I'm gonna use it, is doing some meetings online using Zoom, because in a meeting in a church, we waste a lot of time because we talk a lot and we joke a lot. And sometimes we spend just 1 hour in a meeting and 1 hour talking about other things. And in here, you can control the time. And if you don't want to hear somebody, you just mute it. Yeah. Mute the person. We are going to use this for some meetings.